You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show.
Oh yeah. Are you guys pumped? Are you guys pumped in here for some Ryback? How about it, guys? Hello everybody, welcome to Main Event here on AfterBuzz TV. I am Tom the Calm Connolly, and sitting across from me is nobody. Scott is out of town, Markia is not feeling well, and Gabby couldn't be here tonight, so I am here, not by myself. I have Phil in the booth over there with me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The champ flies alone. The champ, you know what I mean? Yes. When you're the champ, it's a whole different responsibility.
It is. You know, so I'm going to tell everybody out there, there's no need to fear. The predictions champ is still here. And I'm holding this belt for a long time, so. You hear that, Christian Rosenberg? I'm holding this belt for a long time. But how are you doing tonight, Phil?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I enjoyed the show. I was at CES last week and things like that. I feel like even though it's only literally been like a week and a half away from wrestling, I feel like it's been too far or too long, and now I'm getting caught up with everything.
Nice. Oh, did you actually go to the WWE Network launch?
I was invited. There was a few fires I had to put out, so
Gotcha.
I was slated to go there. I know I was supposed to meet up with Stone Cold and things like that, but I did not.
Man. Oh man, that sucks. That would have been awesome.
It is what it is.
That would have been so awesome. But yes, are you excited about the network?
I am. It's gonna save AfterBuzz a lot of money on pay-per-views.
Because I think everyone here will have a subscription. So if one person doesn't for the month, then they can just sign on with somebody else's name. So I think you'll be covered for a while there. So yeah, I think that'll be. I'm excited about it. We talked about it a little bit last week.
Did people know obviously we're kind of skipping ahead, but might as well just talk about it since we're talking about it. Did people know that was going to be the announcement? Because I feel like most people did. I mean, they were anticipating it.
But I think I read about wrestling news like every day, so I kind of knew. I felt like that was coming, especially when I did read that they were having a big announcement. I don't, with them, especially at CES, like, what are they really going to announce that wouldn't be a network? Like, yeah,
I mean, it just, it wouldn't have made any other sense. I mean, there wasn't an app. What else could you add to the app? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it had to be something technologically related, or at least content related, and so it seemed to make sense. And but nonetheless, I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for the programming. I'm interested to see how it's going to work out. But the fact that you can do it on all devices rather than just on your regular TV, I like that aspect of it. Yeah,
I mean, I think they're really stepping up the game of, and I've read some articles in the last week of a lot of people saying like they're going to be the this is the test for all these other channels that want to, or organizations that want to have their own channels and see how it goes. And they have like over 100,000 hours of back content. And then plus they're going to make new content. So I think it's going to be really, I don't know, if you're a fan of WWE, you're basically going to be, I don't know, I feel like when I'm at home and I don't have anything to watch, I'm just going to put it on just because I'm like, okay, I'm going to have wrestling on in the background 24 hours a day now.
To be fair, not that HBO has as much content as the WWE, but they're kind of the initial model to that. I mean, I think like 60 to 70% of their people consume it through HBO Go.
Wow, yeah.
And so if you just get the subscription to HBO, you can watch it from any device, and you don't really need a TV. Yeah. So again, they have way less content, but nonetheless, still kind of I'll give them the credit first.
Yeah, I think they were doing it first, and then with the network, they're gonna have. It's going to be like streaming, live all day too, which HBO I don't think does that, right? You can just kind of go and watch.
Yeah,
what you want, like
HBO was more of a traditional model, obviously, with
Gotcha.
content, with pre-produced content and things like that. This, the fact that you are bringing from all these different sources, obviously is going to be cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome, and I'm pumped. But first, I do have to start off on a kind of a sad note. I have to say, rest in peace to Mae Young. She passed away yesterday. She's, a Hall of Famer. She could do no wrong. I just actually was watching. There's a tribute that I saw on Facebook that the WWE did, and it was like a little 2-3 minute video tribute to her, just showing highlights of her career and all the things And she just seemed like a person that was, she loved the business. She loved the wrestling business, and she would do anything for it. She was 80 years old and took a power bomb from the Dudley Boys off of the Raw stage through tables. I don't understand. I don't know, what 80-year-old woman would ever do that. She was just awesome. She gave birth to a hand from Mark Henry. She was just so game for anything they gave her, and just ran away with it and was funny and just always there and just always entertaining, and it's very sad that she's gone.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I saw a lot of the pictures yesterday on Instagram, and it's what was most notable to me is that she really worked with the divas. A lot of divas posted photos with her and them. Her kind of mentoring them, and so I thought that was, that was really telling of who she was.
Yeah, and there was also a video of I saw of it was Triple H and Vince. I think this was this past summer, presenting her with a Divas Championship with her name on it, saying she's greatest diva champion of all time. And you could definitely tell that Stephanie wasn't there, and she was kind of talking about Stephanie in the video, and it seemed like Stephanie was really close to her. So that's just, it's a sad loss for everybody. Sad loss for the wrestling world. And, but I know she's been on life support, I think, for the last week or something. So there was a weird, fake, not fake, but somebody said that she did pass away earlier, but she was still alive. So, but it happened yesterday, and it's just sad. Sad for the wrestling world. But on a happy note, before we get into the main event for the night, I just have to say happy birthday to my dad. His birthday's tomorrow. And happy birthday to my future sister-in-law, Helena. It's her birthday tomorrow, too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I wasn't going to sing along, though. So happy birthday to them. But let's get to main event for the night. First match of the night, Kofi Kingston, who got a huge upset win over Randy Orton on Raw this past week, versus Curtis Axel, with surprisingly no Ryback tonight. I was kind of, where's Ryback? Maybe they kind of broke up, but they just had a match on Raw. I don't know what's going on. It was a really good match between them. What do you think of the match, Phil?
I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, there was a lot of momentum shifts, which I always tend to enjoy. And ironically, the commentary was very funny, and I enjoyed it throughout. I don't know. I felt like Ryback initially had it, and then when Kofi kind of, he kept coming back in. And then what I liked about it, every time Kofi came back, it really angered up Axel. Yeah. And I thought they played that really well.
Yeah, I thought it was. I like the momentum changing. I like that Kofi kind of was, in control for the first part of the match, and then he hit that Axel hit that big boot and a clothesline out of the corner, and that just kind of switched the momentum. Kofi kind of got it back. I like that Kofi knocked Axel out of the ring. He went for the baseball slide and missed, and then Axel threw him back in the ring, but Kofi did a roll, a somersault back in, and hit a suicide dive right onto Axel, which I've never seen him. I've seen him jump over the top rope, but never. I feel like I'm sure he's done it before, but I just never seen him really do that. Kind of what Daniel Bryan and CM Punk do all the time, that suicide dive through the middle rope onto Axel, and then Axel ended up getting control back they went to commercial break, came back. Kofi, got his momentum back, started going. He hit an awesome crossbody off the top rope. After he went for Trouble in Paradise but missed. He hit the crossbody off the top rope, and then ended up getting dumped to the outside. Which that was when he was Kofi was in the corner and Axel punched him, and it looked like Kofi was just supposed to fall out of the ring, but his left foot got caught on the top rope. And he was kind of hanging there for a second.
Yeah, after when that whole sequence, right? So he falls down, Axel comes down, Kofi tries to go for the Trouble in Paradise again, hits the pole.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seemed like it definitely hurt.
Yeah.
More than just what was supposed to happen. So I enjoy that. I mean, for me, there was only one part of the match that wasn't as good, only because it felt like they were tired right in the middle before we went to commercial break, and I think it was when Axel was supposed to, he broke out, and it just felt like, we have to do this. It didn't feel real.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, Axel they were slowing the momentum down a little bit in the middle of that match, and I guess, And
when they did, I didn't mind it when it did get slow. And, even the commentator said that's a true wrestler who can go at his own pace. And, I think they needed to slow it down a little bit because I think they were getting tired. But at the same time, it felt natural. And, for Axel's character, it was like he's taunting him. And so I bought into it, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And then, so Kofi missed the Trouble in Paradise, kicks the ring post. Axel kind of throws him back in the ring, and then out of nowhere, Kofi gets a quick roll-up, kind of like he did on Raw, and gets the win. So Kofi's there celebrating, gets this win, and then all of a sudden, you hear Ryback's music. So Kofi gets on the defense. He thinks Ryback's coming out to help Curtis Axel. Ryback walks down to the ring, getting all jacked up as he goes down. And he walks to the side of the ring and walks around the ring, just kind of walks past Curtis Axel. And then just walks right back up the ramp and into the back again. And that was it for Ryback. I was like...
Until next time.
Yeah. I was like, okay, he just wanted to come out and, make sure the crowd knows that he's there. Kind of a weird ending. I was glad Kofi got the win. I thought it was an entertaining match. A good match for the first match of the night. What would you give a rating on that match? Star rating?
I'll give it a 4.5. And, again... kind of catching back up for me. I'm intrigued what they're doing with Kingston.
Yeah.
If I had to guess initially, I would have picked Curtis.
Yeah, I was kind of like hoping. I was kind of surprised. I was like, Kofi better get the win in this match because he just beat Orton on Raw, and if he loses to Curtis Axel, then any momentum that he had from Raw is lost now in this one match. So I was glad that he won. I gave it a 4.0 rating. I thought it was highly entertaining, and I thought Axel was very vicious in this match. He had a lot of awesome clubbing punches to the back of Kofi's head and to his face, and it was a good side of Axel that I saw too. And it was good that he didn't have Ryback out there to kind of rely on him to help him win or anything like that. So I just thought it was overall a very entertaining match for the first match of the night.
And I thought, although it didn't progress storyline in a traditional sense, what I like is that even on Main Event, it's still, apart from, let's say, the Matadores, it kept things alive.
It did, yeah.
Obviously, as you mentioned, it carried over from Monday night. It wasn't squashed in that sense. And, even the second match with Damien Sandow, so I liked it in that sense that we're still, because it used to be just kind of a throwaway. Even in SmackDown, now you see more people from Monday Night Raw on SmackDown and even on Main Event now. Yeah. So I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I like. Last week we actually had more of a. There was kind of a storyline that's been traveling through, and I mean this week I think they're kind of starting something with the Ryback, at least storyline wise. So at least that kind of worked, and later on we'll talk about we got some backstage segments, which was nice. I like having that. But first, let's get to. They did a Raw recap of the week of Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton attacking John Cena's dad, who was in the crowd, and he attacked him, and punched him, knocked him on the ground. John Cena came out to save his dad, and his dad was taken away in an ambulance, and we found out that he has a fractured orbital socket, which is apparently very nasty injury that he has. They didn't really go into much detail about it, but I don't know. It was okay on Raw when I watched it. At first, I was kind of like, we've seen this already, where he attacked John Cena's dad, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, and ended up punting him in the head when he attacked him. This time, he just kind of punched him. You know, they made it. I feel like they made it look a lot more devastating than what it really was, and I don't know if it's really working, but I know at least for this feud, they need to do something different than last month.
I mean, you know, I give John's dad a lot of credit because he's, you know, he played it off well. I mean, he doesn't have to do much necessarily, but I'm interested to see how Cena comes back at it. Yeah, you know, at Orton. I think that's going to be the key.
Yeah, because we didn't see anything of that after, because John Cena left with his dad.
I mean, and you know, even that. Again, I like that slow build because it makes sense. You know, Cena's the type of guy, he's not going to go after Orton. You know, first he's going to take care of his family first and foremost, and then deal with the problem because he can get, you know, he knows he can get Orton anytime. But I think depending on what happens on Monday night, it's either going to have worked off really well or it could be stale. But the way Cena's doing it, I have faith that he'll do something special with it.
Yeah, and I like seeing that side of Orton because we haven't seen it in a while. That just, you know, he just doesn't care. He's going to do whatever he wants. He's going to be, you know, that jerk that he wants to be, and just be, you know, conniving and evil. And we need to see. I think he needs to get even more evil, especially in this feud with Cena, and you know, whatever comes after this. Like he just toes the line so much of he's with the authority, he's against the authority. So they need to pick a side of, at least of Orton, and just be like, he's going to be super evil and super bad and do whatever he wants to anybody.
And I think I mean, I was interested to watch the Triple H interview. He didn't really mention too much. Yeah. But I think by doing these sort of acts, the authority has no choice but to separate themselves, and that'll be interesting. So he will really be kind of a solo man, with, and then not necessarily that John Cena would be with the authority or backed by the authority, but now at least you have Orton kind of on his own, and you know, it's almost like a bidding war. Like, who can you pay off to protect him?
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't even think of that. That's very interesting. I could see him.
The Wyatts? Does he go to the Wyatts?
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of out there now. I mean,
3MB, they're the best security you can get.
I think if 3MB comes out during that match in the Royal Rumble to help Randy Orton, that would be awesome. As much as it would make no sense, I would love that because it would be really, really cool to watch. We did a Michael Cole Triple H interview, and he just said, you know, Randy basically should have called Triple H. He has his cell phone, his home number, and that it will be dealt with. So I guess we'll see the fallout of that probably on Raw next week, which is only, you know, a week before the Rumble. So I don't really know what they're going to do with that. I think like you said, they need to almost side with Cena on this and not side with Orton, because the authority is supposed to be, you know, doing what's right. But they always do what's right for them, not what's right. You know, they're doing what's best for business, not what's best for everyone else. So, and
I think, you know, again, I mean, not that you want to go down the Big Show storyline, but I mean, John Cena could sue the company of like, hey, my father was watching.
He was a fan, and I thought it was funny, like watching on Raw too. There was that guy in the second row that. He looked like he was gonna try to hit Orton, and then it looked like Orton kind of like pushed him a little. And I don't know, if I'm a fan and I've gone to the live shows, one thing I would never do is I would never touch them in the crowd if they're out in the crowd. Like, people out there watching or listening, don't touch the wrestlers while they're, you know, out in the, you know, or around the ring. Because they're going to hit you back. They don't care.
Here's the problem. It comes with an intensity of, let's say, the third or fourth beer, right? Yeah. And you're there, and you're amped, you know, and you're like, wow. First off, you get caught up in the moment of like, wow, this dude just really hit John Cena's father. You're not really thinking of, wow, this is probably staged. And then you're like, I'm going to beat the crap out of this guy.
But you also have to know that, you know, it's all, you know, if you're going there, I know there's very passionate fans of pro wrestling that think they want to get involved when they're there at the live crowd, but just chant and cheer and don't touch them, because it's not going to end well for you in the end. We've all seen when people jumped in the ring.
We are going to Raw February 10th, I believe.
Yes, we are.
Tom doesn't know this, but he has a match set for one fall.
Yes. And I'm probably going to get beat up at 2 seconds by whoever it is. Probably be like the Big Show and just knock me out. Then I won't get to see the rest. I hope it's at the end of Raw, maybe after it's over, so I can see the show and then that match can happen. So that'd be awesome. But okay, so on SmackDown this week too, we have the tag team champs, the Rhodes family, Cody and Goldust, taking on New Age Outlaws, who abandoned CM Punk on Raw when he was facing the Shield because they're friends with Triple H. So they can't be friends with CM Punk anymore, which is it was surprising to see that happening. I wasn't expecting to see that happen on Raw, the Outlaws turn on Punk, but it does make sense storyline wise of they are friends with Triple H, so, and CM Punk is definitely not friends or a fan of Triple H.
Nope.
Which we've seen for a while now. But yeah, so I think that should be a good match on SmackDown this week, so check that out. And then the second match of the night is Sin Cara versus Damien Sandow. This was a very quick match, not that long.
It was kind of short overall, I will say, but I don't know. It felt entertaining nonetheless. Didn't feel like it was too short or too long. It felt just right.
Yes, it definitely did. I'm not a fan of the Sin Cara lights that go. I think they just need to get rid of that whole thing.
I enjoy. I mean, I don't know. I like the presentation aspect of it, and I don't mind it changing for various things. And to be honest, I'd like to see it a little bit more on other matches.
Like you mean them doing stuff kind of like that on other matches?
Like John Cena's green. I'm sure you'd enjoy that.
That would be great. Every match, everyone gets their own custom lights now for each match. I just feel that they are definitely building up Sin Cara again, since they haven't been lately, but in the last couple weeks. So I understand they're going to do it for the light, for the effect, and make him seem very special and have his own little way of presenting himself. But Sandow, so the match is going on. It was basically Sandow was in control for most of it. He hits the Kobe Toawaki at the elbow of disdain, and he pins him here. He covers Sin Cara for 2, or Sin Cara covers Sandow. He hits an elbow like off the rope, and the next thing you know, Ryback's music hits again. So instead of them stopping fighting and just seeing what's going on, they just continue to wrestle Sandow and Sin Cara.
Smart,
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, they shouldn't stop because of him. So Ryback is walking around the ring. He gets about halfway around the ring, and Sandow hits the "You're Welcome" on Sin Cara to get the win. And then Ryback's music kind of stops as he's still walking and pacing around the ring, and Sandow's music hits because he wins. And Ryback just continues to walk around the ring as Sandow celebrates in the ring. And one thing funny for the commentary, it was Alex Riley and Tom Phillips tonight. No Miz tonight. Alex Riley did do an okay Ultimate Warrior impression at the beginning of this match, because the Warrior he's the first inductee into the Hall of Fame this year, which should be cool. But I was like, I like both when Alex Riley and the Miz are there. Tom Phillips, this is only his, I think, third or fourth week here doing main event. But I like him. I think he's got potential, and I think he's growing on me a little bit. So I think it works out.
No offense to them. I think Michael Cole just has this energy to him that's just unmatched. They're all really smart. They say, educated things, but they just need to say them faster and with so much energy.
Yeah, I think Tom Phillips he's a little more laid back and kind of quiet, a little too quiet sometimes. And Alex Riley has gotten a lot better on commentary, I think, since me being here at Main Event on AfterBuzz and watching it more. I think he's grown on commentary, and I think he knows what to say. And I could definitely see maybe in a couple years or maybe sooner than that, Alex Riley, moving up the ranks and becoming that Jerry Lawler spot on Raw, because I don't think Jerry's going to be there forever. So they're going to they need someone that's a wrestler in that spot, not just someone that's, from the,
broadcast world.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah. But what was your rating for this match, the second match of the night?
I'll give it a 3.75.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it a 2.5. I thought it was, like you said, I think it was the perfect amount of time for this match. I was glad Sandow won. He did lose to Cena on Raw, but it was a very good match on Raw that he had. And this just still, continues his momentum. And Alex Riley did say on commentary that he said, when he talked to Sandow in the back, because I think he just talks to everybody that he finds in the back. Yeah, Sandow said that he's no more nicknames for him, that he's just all business, which I think is good. I think he's finding that little, he's finding his way into this character and becoming more of it, and just finding a good spot to be in where it's not too over the top and, too out there. It's, more of his personality coming through, which they always say every, Stone Cold, The Rock, that character is a part of them, turned up to 10. And that's what everyone needs, I feel. They just need a little bit they need their personality put into their characters and just turn the volume up a little bit. And they're more comfortable being that way, and they just show it more, and the fans connect with everyone more that way.
And what I like is, they said it. His equation is I'm greater than you, and therefore everything that he's doing is simplified, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas before it was so many bells and whistles. Mm-hmm. That it's, by simplifying, it's literally you're simplifying what we get to see, and so we root for you because we understand the goal.
Yes, exactly. So then after that, we get, we already kind of talked about it, but WWE Network, February 24th, 11:06, it goes live. We'll all be signing up here at AfterBuzz, so we'll be watching plenty of it. Alex Riley said he wants to see the match. Shane O'Mac versus Kurt Angle from King of the Ring 2001. Excuse me. That match is awesome. It's a crazy, I don't even know if it's a hardcore match, but Kurt Angle goes through, or Shane O'Mac gets thrown through like two or three of these like plate glass windows, and it's just an incredible match. So
are all the documentaries on there? Because those are the ones that I love, and if they are, then it just blows it away from me.
I'm guessing they will be, but I think that's one thing that I don't know what the network is going to be like, especially because of DVDs, because I know they do sell a lot of DVDs, so I don't know how they're going to work that out. I feel like there's going to be an expiration of like, okay, we're going to put this out on DVD, like say, Royal Rumble 2014. They're going to put it on DVD, but they're not going to put it on the network right away, because then people are not going to buy the DVD.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. In terms of that model, I really do hope that they're more fan-friendly in that sense, meaning like South Park puts up, everyone's going to pirate South Park in some sense, right? So rather than, gyp their fans, they put it up on their website right after. And then there's a period it goes down, so it's up for a week, it goes down for like, let's say 3 weeks, and then it's back up again for free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, and then they still do well on their DVD sales from what I understand. But I like, again, they did it because why not? Their fans are going to watch the stuff anyway. Why not watch from their website?
Exactly. Yeah, it's smart. It's smart. That would be one thing that they haven't, at least from what I've seen about the network, they haven't talked about that, of at least DVD sales and how things will be coming out. And I agree with you too. I think all of their like documentary DVDs are what I want to watch. Like, I do like watching ones that are like, best, TLC matches or anything like that. I think they're fun to watch, but I like to watch the story of everyone. And the newer one that's out, the Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come, or I think it's the name of it. That one is awesome. I'm not sure if have you seen that one?
I have not. I've seen the CM Punk. I've seen the Stone Cold. I've seen the Monday Night Wars one. So I've seen a few of them. But but I don't always have access to it. And so if I'm going to pay, I'd like to see these things.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But yeah, the Triple H one, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a really great insight, and it shows a lot. There's the Undertaker's on there, which he's rarely ever on DVDs talking. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's sitting across from me. Oh, he's gone now. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, so let's get back to main event. Next, we get a backstage segment. Brad Maddox is walking backstage, and 3MB comes up to him, and they say they want to thank him for putting him in a handicap match with the primetime players tonight, because all three of them back. They're at full strength. They're apparently going to drop their first album this year, which they talked about. But Brad Maddox just kind of dismissed him. He's like, I don't like any of you, and I don't even like the primetime players. None of us like you guys in the back here. The reason why I made this match is that it gives us in the back here some peace and quiet time, because you guys, all you do is talk all the time. So they kind of got pissed and they, left, but they were still kind of, they were happy that they at least have a match on main event, and, it's a 3-on-2 handicap match, so good for them. Odds are in their favor. So then we get back to commentary, and Alex Riley does his impression of playing the saxophone, because according to him, he's going to be the saxophone player for 3MB. I don't know if it's going to be 4MB. I don't think so, but it could be interesting.
Are they really coming out with an album? Because I think that would actually be interesting.
I think that would be awesome. They did that whole, when they first got together, they did kind of a behind the music. They did a kind of behind the music documentary little thing about them, but then it got dropped, and it was funny. It was entertaining. I hope they do something with them, and if main event is the place they can do it, I will gladly watch that each week.
I hope that they're, you know what I mean? They've been such jokes that if nothing else, I want the album to be actually good, because then it'd just be all the more funny of like, these guys just can't wrestle, but they actually, they've been talking about this album, and, here's this grand masterpiece. Yeah. Better than Beyonce.
And I think they should, do it Milli Vanilli style. Have them lip sing it. Have them, make it seem like it's them the whole time. Have this whole big thing, have them perform at WrestleMania. And then they get caught, say they get caught at WrestleMania, because they're going to have their first couple big performances, and I don't know, I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be entertaining. And then we hear some Bad News Barrett, and he's rises up on his little buggy up into high above the arena floor. And he says, "Can I have some decorum, please?" I can't do a British accent. Sorry, I'm not gonna try it. He says, we're less than 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, a match filled with shocks and surprises. But he has some bad news. This year there will be no shocks and surprises, because when I get in the ring, there will be a mass exodus of superstars. And he also said, but he has, there was a mass exodus at the zoo today, and all of the animals were brought to this filthy arena. And then he wanted to thank each and every one of them for leaving their barn today to come see Bad News Barrett.
Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, first off, is there any chance in hell that he's going to do anything at the Royal? I mean, maybe top 5?
Maybe. I say maybe top 10. Maybe top 15. I like this, I like these little segments. I like it better when there's somebody out there, not when he's talking to another wrestler or a group of wrestlers, not to the crowd. I mean, it makes sense he would talk to the crowd, especially at a main event. But I just think it's interesting, and then, at the end of it, we get Ryback again. Third time tonight he comes out. And he does this whole thing, walks around the ring, walks back up as Barrett just sits there, high top everybody on his buggy. I mean, I like the way they're going with this Barrett thing. It at least gives him something to do. I think the buggy adds a lot, better than him standing at that podium, by the ring. What do you think of the Bad News Barrett?
I mean, kudos to them for putting him that high and things. I love that. They had some great angles, and I mean, they're doing some ridiculous stuff with him. Remember the Christmas episode?
Yeah,
he was. you know, he was outside, and I forget what he was doing, but I don't know. I don't think they're utilizing him to his full potential, but I don't mind the segment.
No, and I think he's having a good time doing it, which makes it come off a lot better than him just kind of just doing whatever and coming out with his jacket with the rose on it, and you know, I'm excited to see him wrestle again, if that's anything. These little segments are, you know, making me want to see him in the ring, because I feel like this is definitely leading to some kind of feud with someone, because he's gonna come out there and give someone bad news, and they're not gonna like it.
I mean, him and Miz could do something, right? Because he's got the Miz TV,
Yeah.
and here you have not necessarily a TV show, but you have, you know, it's got the word news in it.
Yeah.
So you combine the two, you have a feud.
I think it'd be good. And I mean, the Miz is just flip-flop back and forth from being a good guy to being a bad guy. We don't know where the Miz is, but I would definitely like to see a Miz TV get interrupted by a Bad News Barrett. I think that'd be good. Yeah, so Ryback, you know, came out, and apparently he kept saying, "Keep typing, morons," which I guess is kind of, I don't understand what that's for. I don't know if that's more like, you know, for these, you know, the internet wrestling community
Journalists.
that are just like kind of saying all this stuff about him. And he's had a lot of really weird tweets in the last 2 weeks that he'll write a tweet, then it'll get deleted. And he wrote one, I think one of it was like, tweet or eat, tweet, delete, repeat, or something like that, kind of like the Brock Lesnar thing. So I don't know where they're going with the Ryback. I don't understand it. But to the third match of the night, we get 3-man band coming out, going against primetime players, and this is definitely the shortest match in main event history, I think. The commentators are talking about how, you know, they're going to have this debut album, but it's going to have 40 songs on it. So they're still trying to figure out, you know, fine-tune which songs they want to put on this album, I guess. And it's, you know, Drew McIntyre in the ring with Darren Young. Drew McIntyre was in control for the 2 minutes of the match.
I like Drew McIntyre.
Me too.
It's quite a shame that he has to be with 3MB because I feel like he is a little bit better. I mean, for all intents and purposes, 3MB is so downplaying their actual skills.
Yes, they really are. And it's kind of, especially what happens after this, which so Drew goes for the cover, he gets a 2, and he starts yelling at the ref saying, "You got to do their job, ref, what's going on?" And out of nowhere, he gets rolled up for a 3 count by Darren Young. Primetime players win, so they're celebrating. Titus Young didn't even get in the ring. He had the easiest job of the night. He just stood there on the apron, waiting. And, you know,
he did almost come in to break it up, though.
Yeah.
At one point, so he did have to run.
So that was he barely broke a sweat. And I have to say this too. While I was gone over Christmas break, I was at the airport, and this guy walks by me, and he has kind of like an afro, and I look, and I'm like, I think that's Darren Young, and he walked by me in the airport, but I don't like to bother. You know, if I see someone at the airport, I'm not really going to bother them because I'm sure he's trying to get on a plane, get home. You know, wants to do all that stuff. So I did tweet out to him. I said, "Oh, I think I just saw Darren Young in the airport. Wish I got a picture." And about 2 minutes later, he ended up retweeting it because it was him in the airport. But I did not find him again in the airport, which sadly I did not get my picture with Darren Young. But cool story at least to get retweeted by Darren Young. Yeah.
Great story.
Yes. So 3MB wants a rematch with primetime players. Brett Maddox comes out and says, "Who do you think you're talking to? I'm the general manager," which I didn't know he was the general manager of Main Event, but I guess he is now. So he said, "So, you know, now you're not going to get a handicap match. Now you're going to get a 6-man tag match against Los Matadores and El Torito, who comes out in all white tonight." This match, again, was another quick match. You know, they kind of, Drew McIntyre was in there. He was going after Diego, and the crowd started chanting, "Tag the bull, tag the bull, tag the bull." So he ended up getting the tag to Torito. Torito comes in, hits the Hurricanrana on Jinder. He hits like 2 Hurricanranas on Jinder. He went on the top rope. Drew went to attack him. He, you know, escaped him. Heath Slater got in the ring. He escapes Heath Slater trying to kick him. Los Matadores took out Heath Slater, took out Drew McIntyre. Torito tagged back in one of the Los Matadores. I'm not sure which one it was. I don't remember they even saying. But they come in, they hit their finisher, which we don't have a move for yet. Kind of this, double team. How would you describe that move? It's just kind of like a power, not even like a power bomb, just kind of, I don't know. It's a odd move to describe.
It is. I mean, this whole match was just for me. I was a little skeptical of the Matadors at first, and I don't like them as characters, but as wrestlers, they're kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, they can wrestle, and El Torito is very entertaining to watch. I don't really like, him beating up these guys that are like, twice the size of him all the time. But it works, and, for main event, it works. When they do that kind of stuff on Raw and SmackDown, I don't really understand it because it doesn't really help storyline-wise, or just it doesn't help make these other wrestlers look good. Like, it makes Torito look good, but it doesn't make them look good that they're getting beat up.
By a little bull?
Yeah, by a bull, yeah. But so Los Matadores hit their finisher. They get the win. What would you give a star rating for this match?
This one I'll give a 3.5. Although, again, I did have that realization, wow, these guys are better than they seem.
Yeah.
And I want to figure out what to do with them. And, could this gimmick work? Perhaps. But I want to see them do something more.
Yeah, I feel like everyone, at least everyone here, when I've heard the other podcasts, we always thought that they were gonna do something with them and the Real Americans, but they kind of just skipped over that completely, and now we haven't seen them in a while, really. So,
I mean, if it was a goat, you definitely have the Wyatts. Like, you could kill him, the goat as a sacrifice. So that could have been the storyline.
That could have been. That would have been nasty, but that would have could have worked. It definitely could have worked. So as Los Matadores are, celebrating their victory, we get Ryback again. His music hits. He walks around the ring. I thought it was funny, if you watched in the ring, Torito was trying to go after Ryback, but they were holding him back when he was standing outside the ring. And the show basically ends with this Ryback, flexing in front of the camera, getting his airtime for the 4th time tonight. He got more airtime than anybody on Main Event tonight.
That was the easiest airtime ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine that creative meeting. Like, okay, we need to get you out there more. Okay, so I got to wrestle more. What do I got to do?
Nope.
No, you're just going to, every show, you're just going to go out there for every match. And what do I do? That's it. You just walk around.
Yeah, you just look intimidating and look pissed off and walk around the ring.
And I don't wrestle? I don't have to wrestle?
No.
No, you don't got to wrestle?
No, not tonight.
Okay, cool.
So I feel like they're pushing Ryback. They're, pushing Sandow. We're going in the right direction of at least especially with Kofi winning on Raw. We're going in the right direction with this stuff, which I think is good. Good. Business is getting good. It's almost WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania season, with the Rumble coming up in a week and a half. Week and a half. So I think we're getting pushed in the right direction. And I was surprised that. Did you see Raw on Monday, Phil?
I did not. As I told you, I'm catching up.
Okay, gotcha. At the end of Raw, Daniel Bryan escaped from the Wyatts. Not really escaped, but he kind of, got out of the whole Wyatt family. And it was a sight to see. If you watch anything from Raw, watch the end first.
Always.
Watch the last 5 minutes, because and I think I tweeted out the other day, I said, I tweeted this to Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. If they're out there listening, if the end of Raw doesn't show you that that should be the end of WrestleMania 30. If they do not, I don't understand, like, if we're not pushing this towards Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 30, then I'm not sure where they're going with this storyline of Daniel Bryan. He had the crowd. I have not seen anybody do that since The Rock or Stone Cold. He had that crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. It was amazing. And he started with the slow like yes chant. Normally it's, the yes, yes, yes. He started with this slow yes chant. And at first the crowd wasn't into it, but once they got it and they're like, okay, we're going to go slow with this. And he built it up, and that whole arena was doing the yes chant. I just want the end of WrestleMania 30 to be Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship and him standing in the middle of that ring with the 80,000 people at
New Orleans
doing the yes chant. Because that will be a sight that they could play in any package they put together for the next 100 years or however they do it. I just think it would be amazing, and to me they could just print money doing that. I hope that's what they're going for, but we'll see as it plays out. But yeah, you should definitely check out the end of Raw. It was one of the best endings of Raw I've seen in a very, very long time.
Right on.
Yeah, it was awesome. I endorse that a lot. So that kind of brings us to the end of main event tonight. Ryback did not come out again after that.
Well, because it was the end of the show.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought maybe they'd go to commercial or they'd play the credits and then they'd go back to Ryback again. But no, they did not do that. But Phil, where can everyone at home find you?
Follow us here at AfterBuzz TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Gotcha. And you can follow me on Twitter at TomTheCom. And any Tomorrow People fans, we're doing a Tomorrow People after show right after this. And you can catch me out Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, no, 11 o'clock now. We are doing Supernatural still. So you can check us out there. And hopefully the crew will be back next week. And
Tom's got this weekend with the belt, but then
I know I'm gonna cherish it this weekend, and I have many more weeks after that. But yeah, we will be doing our predictions next week for Royal Rumble. I'll be really mad if I lose, but whatever. We'll see what happens. All right, we will check you guys out.
That is so not how a champion talks.
Okay, but I do not want to lose. I do not want to lose this belt because it's very fun having it. So, but yeah, we will check out you guys. We'll see you guys next week here on AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.